In the last episode, I juiced up with some amazing food and started my 8-mile walk from a distant suburb into downtown. And as I began this walk, I ran into a world of diversity of so many different cultures. And of course, not to mention all the plane spotting, since I was walking near one of the busiest airports in the entire world. In this episode, I continue my walk through this super artistic city to arrive into the historic area of Lincoln Square. Located at about 6 miles northwest of downtown Chicago, this historic neighborhood is quite charming and contains some very beautiful restaurants and shops. This, by the way, is one of their old lines. It looks very old, but somehow still functions. But in a sense, it's kind of interesting. It gives it kind of a rustic look. You see it all over Chicago. I love how almost in every corner there's a restaurant. It really reminds me of Mexico City. My experiences in Mexico City were just like this. Do they want to emphasize that they're open? What do you think? These elevated rail lines are very interesting things to me because of how old they are. And I've seen rail lines in many different cities, even monorails, but I don't know if to call this an eyesore or a piece of history that makes the city look interesting. I think it's a little bit of both, because it is to a certain extent an eyesore with all the rust. However, that kind of does give the city the charm, because it was one of the first, maybe even the first city to have a raised rail system, which, you know, Chicago was very ahead of its time compared to pretty much the whole world. So, but they, you know, it'd be nice if they took care of the rust, at least maybe paint it. Stay tuned for the next episode as we walk deeper into the Lakeview District and ever so closer to downtown Chicago. And as we get deeper into the city, the area becomes denser and the architecture more interesting. And of course, towards the end of this walk, I get to have the first taste of Chicago's famous deep dish pizza. I eventually arrive in downtown Chicago at nighttime after many hours of walking to check out the many things to see and do in this beautiful and eventful downtown.